Would I change anything? Now, if I were to release a second edition or an updated version to my book, Complete Guide to Testosterone, would there be anything different? Have I changed anything? Am I doing anything differently? Have my opinions altered in any way? Now, instead of going to the trouble of producing a second edition, I'm going to address that here in a video instead, because there would be some minor changes, but too few to warrant a second edition. Due to unforeseen circumstances, my testosterone booster stack supplement got pushed to the back of the shelf, so I forgot to use it. I had mentioned that to get the best effect from this type of supplement, it's best only ever used on a short-term basis. To these supplements, tolerance is built up fairly quickly and they lose their effectiveness fairly quickly. This is truth, and I stand by that truthful statement. It does not matter which brand it is or its constituent ingredient contents, tolerance will be built up and the supplement will become ineffective. If you're going to ever use a testosterone booster supplement, it's only ever going to be effective for a few days to a week at best and no more. Based upon this, I was using the supplement once a week to get a little boost and only once a week to keep it effective and to prevent tolerance from ever being established. But that supplement being pushed to the back of the shelf led to me forgetting to use it for a little over 2 months. Did it make any difference? Well, no, absolutely no difference. And the truth is, I didn't even notice that I'd forgotten to use it. Now, this week, when I kind of realised I found it hiding at the back of the shelf, I tried the supplement this week for the first time in just over 2 months, and I noticed it. And during that training session that took place that day, I hit an EPOC rating of 906, bearing in mind that 500 is considered to be a high EPOC score. But this wasn't all courtesy of this supplement, because I'm regularly hitting high EPOC scores, and on one day, I'm usually around 700-800s when it comes to EPOC rating, and sometimes I even go as high as into 1,000 or 1,100. So that EPOC rating of 906 wasn't solely down to the supplement, but I did feel the supplement during that training session. So used once in a while, it can be both useful and effective. Used long term, they are pretty much useless and can even cause low testosterone when used long term. Beware of this and do not place too much hope in these supplements. You will be disappointed. You will end up being convinced that increasing your testosterone naturally cannot be done, and you will be lured into taking TRT. There are many out there that will sell you on that. It's a lifetime commitment. Next thing is the root cause of the generational decline in men's testosterone levels. Now, without a shadow of a doubt, it's reduced activity levels in children. Sure, all the other things such as tech, synthetic clothing, modern manufacturing processes, endocrine disrupting chemicals, etc., 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 will have an effect. But it is reduced activity levels during childhood and adolescence that are probably the primary root cause. During the 50-year period that men's testosterone levels have been declining, activity levels in children have declined pretty much in line with that. Children in the 1970s and 1980s played outside, they ran, jumped, they were active every day. Now the streets are not as safe, and throughout the 90s, noughties and onwards, the streets outside your home have become less and less safe. Parents have become increasingly more reluctant to let their children play outside, especially unsupervised. Many parents are glued to their screens also, and they're strutting and posturing their egos on social media, and the children naturally follow suit. Egotism breeds egotism, lazy breeds lazy, sedentary breeds sedentary. I don't mean to cause any offence here, I'm merely stating the truth. This causes retarded development. A sedentary child with reduced activity levels, it will retard their development. Not being horrible here, And a failure to build solid foundations in activity levels is also causing lower testosterone levels when these children reach maturity. Everything else is secondary. Now, my theory of why testosterone levels decline in training men has more and more become established as a fact, and there is now increasing evidence to validate my theory. So in that, I would change that from theory to fact in a second edition. Otherwise, everything else is on point and will stand the test of time. So if you are a parent, think of the long-term consequences of handing your child a screen to keep them quiet. They need physical activity to form a solid foundation on which to build adequate hormonal health later in life. And the events in testosterone levels and the evidence available supports this theory. Not a theory, actually, this fact. A tantrum or two now, think about this, a tantrum or two now, or a depressed adolescent or young adult needing to use TRT for the rest of their life and feeling inadequate later on, choose wisely. Bye for now, people.